Experiment 020 is the 20 genetic experiment created by Jumbo with Hamster's funding. He was designed to sell anything to anyone until there was nothing available for sale. According to Jumbo, 020 once sold his laboratory instead of other experiments. Another time he sold Jumbo's ex-wife for the outrageous price of 10 kilocredits, when she was only worth 5. 020 and the other first 624 experiments were deactivated and swung to Earth by Jumbo during his mission to capture Experiment 626. All of the experiment pods were released and scattered across the island of Kauai. At an unknown point after this, Experiment 020 was activated. Lilo and Stitch the series. While Lilo and Stitch were having trouble selling candy bars for a fundraiser at their school, they encountered 020 sitting on a park bench reading a newspaper. When 020 heard about Lilo and Stitch's soliciting problem, he introduced himself to them and then presented his card revealing his number and primary function. Afterwards, 020, named Slick, offered to assist Lilo and Stitch in their fundraising drive. Using a sales pitch, Slick managed to convince every person whom Lilo came across into buying one of her chocolate bars. However, Slick later grew obsessive and began selling everything in the Pelekes owned. Since they were unable to capture Slick, Lilo left Pleakley in charge of Slick while she and Stitch both set out to redeem all their personal belongings. While they were doing this, Myrtle, who had learned about Slick earlier, arrived at the Pelekes house looking for the salesman experiment. Annoyed, Pleakley tried to get Myrtle to leave, but Slick, advising him not to turn away a customer, let her come in. When the two debated over custody of Slick, the latter held an impromptu auction and set the opening bid at $1. It ended with Slick selling himself to Myrtle for $3. After managing to retrieve all their household possessions, Lilo and Stitch returned home and put everything back in its proper place, but then discovered that Slick was missing. Pleakley explained what happened, prompting Lilo and Stitch to get Slick back. Meanwhile, Myrtle used Slick to sell candy bars and help her win the contest until Lilo and Stitch stole him. But Myrtle managed to steal him back later. Later, when Lilo and Stitch, disguised as beekeepers, went over to Myrtle's house to reclaim Slick, she revealed that she sold him to Experiment 625, much to their horror. At Gantu's ship, Slick acquainted himself with Reuben, and later sold the ship to an elderly man who had somehow gained entry. Slick was soon captured in a container by an alien Gantu, who had been repeatedly pursued by a hamster to do so. Fortunately, Lilo and Stitch showed up and were able to free Slick, but he then escaped while also selling the batteries in Gantu's blast to a pair of locals. Gantu later tracked Slick down and recaptured him. However, the former ultimately bartered Slick for Lilo's last chocolate bar, claiming it would cure his cold. Shortly after, Slick found his one true place at Lilo's school and raising money for charity. Plute. In Plute, Lilo tried to convince Slick to help her defeat Plute, but he led Lilo astray by trying to convince her to buy an umbrella instead. Remy. In Remy, Slick was one of the experiments in Lilo's dream. Leroy and Stitch the movie. The first 624 experiments, including Slick, were rounded up by Leroy and taken to a stadium to be destroyed. However, Lilo, Stitch, Jumbo, Pleakley, Reuben, and Gantu arrived before the experiments could be destroyed. Slick participated in the following battle between the experiments and the Leroy clones, having frightened at least one Leroy clone. However, the Leroy soon gained the upper hand in the battle, but were defeated when Lilo, Stitch, Reuben, and several other experiments performed the song Aloha Oi, which caused the Leroy army to shut down due to a failsafe mechanism. Special abilities. Slick can sell anything to anyone, even if they have no reason or wouldn't buy it otherwise, by using sympathy and slight exaggeration effects. He can speak fluently and is capable of controlling his facial emotions and voice to persuade his customers. He has professional sales tactics and auctioneer-like speaking qualities.
I've never heard of that.
Trivia. Slick is one of only 4 known experiments that wears a hat, the other 3 being French Fry, Squeak, and Derek. Slick was activated off-screen. Slick is one of the few known experiments that can speak fluently. If you enjoyed this video, please smash a like and subscribe to the channel for more Lilo and Stitch videos. Leave a comment down in the comment section of who's your favorite experiment and which one you'd like to see us do next. Until next time, aloha!